Is Britain becoming a stranded island in a rapidly integrating world? As Europe builds a unified strategic autonomy to defend its own interests, the UK remains adrift, trapped between its imperial past and an uncertain future. At World Perspective, we are mapping the widening chasm that threatens to leave the British archipelago permanently isolated. Britain's deepening divergence from the European Union's pursuit of strategic autonomy reveals a structural rift, one that goes far beyond mere policy. The cultural archipelago mapping the British isolation from Europe's integrated strategic autonomy. We examine how this archipelago mindset prioritises transatlantic maritime security over continental industrial integration. This friction point fundamentally reshapes regional defence architectures, forcing a precarious redefinition of sovereignty within an increasingly fragmented global order. Yet within this friction lies the potential for a new, agile form of global influence. 1. The Strategic Autonomy Rift. The primary ideological friction lies in the very definition of security. Brussels is currently centralising its command structures to reduce dependence on external powers, effectively building a European pillar within NATO, while London remains firmly tethered to the Atlanticist Anchor, viewing the United States as the ultimate guarantor of Western stability. This creates a systemic de-synchronisation, where the UK and EU may find themselves competing for the same resources or following conflicting command signals during a crisis. However, both powers can pursue a model of interoperable autonomy, where the UK acts as a high-tech bridge between the US and Europe. By positioning itself as a dual-key partner, Britain can facilitate cooperation rather than forcing a choice between the continent and the Atlantic. This dual identity allows the UK to maintain its unique sovereignty while serving as an indispensable security conduit, ensuring the Western alliance remains both flexible and unified. 2. The digital border, aerospace and satellites. The exclusion of British firms from the EU's Galileo and IRIS-2 satellite programmes has created a hard digital border in the North Sea. Technological sovereignty is the new frontier, and without shared data, regional navigation and secure communication become fragmented, ultimately increasing costs for both sides. To overcome this, the UK is leveraging its world-leading private space sector to build a bespoke low Earth orbit constellation. This system can be data-linked with European networks through reciprocal security agreements, allowing for redundancy and backup. This healthy competition is driving a new space race in the North Sea, resulting in faster, more resilient satellite technology that benefits global telecommunications and regional security alike. 3. Energy sovereignty, the grid tension. As Europe moves toward a highly centralised, integrated energy grid to ensure collective stability, Britain is focusing on domestic offshore wind and a new generation of small, modular nuclear reactors to achieve total energy independence. These divergent energy standards and regulatory frameworks can lead to interconnector friction, where power sharing becomes a political bargaining chip rather than a shared utility. The path forward lies in a dynamic interconnectivity model, where the UK exports massive surpluses of offshore wind energy during North Sea surges in exchange for European baseload stability. This creates a symbiotic green battery across the English Channel, accelerating the transition to a net zero continent and proving that diverse energy strategies can actually enhance collective resilience. 4. Maritime versus Terrestrial Doctrine. London's Strategic Doctrine remains fundamentally maritime and global, focusing on carrier strike groups and expeditionary reach, whereas the EU is increasingly focused on a terrestrial Fortress Europe defence aimed at protecting its land borders. This leads to a mismatch in hardware procurement. The UK seeks deep-sea frigates, while Europe invests in heavy armour and land-based missile shields. The solution is regional specialisation. If Europe focuses on the shield of continental land defence, the UK can provide the sword of global maritime protection. This division of labour creates a more comprehensive, multi-domain security umbrella that protects both the European heartland and the vital global trade routes. 5. Procurement Protectionism. The EU's shift toward Buy European defence subsidies and the European Defence Fund has effectively locked out British aerospace giants, a protectionism that fragments the industrial base and leads to the expensive duplication of research and development. To resolve this, we are seeing the emergence of thematic joint ventures for specific cutting-edge technologies, such as sixth-generation stealth materials or AI-driven undersea surveillance. This allows for industrial cooperation without the need for total market integration. It fosters a high-tech ecosystem where the UK and Europe compete on innovation, ultimately delivering superior hardware and lower long-term costs for the taxpayers of both regions. 6. Intelligence and the Five Eyes friction. Britain's core membership in the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance sometimes clashes with the EU's desire for absolute data sovereignty and privacy controls, leading to a lack of intelligence fluidity during regional security threats. This friction is being addressed through the implementation of a tiered intelligence framework, a bespoke agreement that allows for the real-time sharing of actionable security threats while respecting the UK's global intelligence protocols. This creates a more robust, multi-layered intelligence network, ensuring that the British Isles and the continent are never caught unaware by emerging unconventional threats. 7. The Arctic frontier, a new cold front. As the Arctic ice thins, a race for new trade routes and resources is intensifying. And British and European strategies are beginning to disalign, with London pursuing a more assertive naval presence compared to the EU's regulatory approach. Competing claims and naval priorities could turn the High North into a zone of geopolitical friction. But the formation of a Northern Maritime Coalition offers a way out. By incorporating the UK, Scandinavia and the EU to coordinate Arctic patrols and environmental monitoring, this cooperation can turn a potential flashpoint into a zone of sustainable stewardship, protecting a fragile ecosystem while securing the resources necessary for our shared digital future. 8. Research and development, the horizon gap. The UK's exit from primary Horizon Europe funding streams initially fractured the European brain trust, separating top researchers through bureaucratic hurdles and slowing the pace of discovery in biotechnology and green tech. The answer lies in establishing bilateral innovation corridors between top British and European research hubs, funded by a joint Archipelago Continental fund that bypasses central bureaucracies. This decentralised approach to R&D can actually spark more diverse and creative solutions than a single monolithic funding body, keeping the region at the cutting edge of global science and ensuring our shared intellectual prosperity. 9. The city versus the Eurozone. Financial defence. London remains the undisputed financial engine of the region. Yet Brussels seeks to move financial oversight to the continent to secure its own fiscal autonomy. Disconnecting the world's most sophisticated capital market from the neighbouring Eurozone creates unnecessary volatility and reduces liquidity for everyone. The most optimistic path is permanent regulatory equivalence, a framework that acknowledges the UK's high standards as equal to the EU's, allowing for the frictionless flow of capital. This creates a dual-hub financial system, London and Frankfurt, that provides the most liquid, resilient and innovative capital market in history, fueling growth for every nation in the region. 10. Standardisation and regulating the future. The UK and the EU are currently drifting apart on the regulation of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and gene editing, creating a regulatory schism where tech companies are forced to develop different products for two neighbouring markets. However, the UK can use its smaller, more agile size to function as a global standards bridge, piloting regulatory sandboxes for new tech, which the EU can then adapt for the broader bloc. In this scenario, the UK becomes the world's regulatory laboratory, accelerating the safe adoption of new technology, while Europe provides the massive market scale for implementation. This partnership ensures that the West remains the global leader in ethical technology. Conclusion: the Agile Archipelago. In conclusion, the cultural archipelago is not a story of inevitable decline, but one of profound restructuring. While Britain and Europe may currently be disaligned on certain strategic frequencies, their fundamental interests remain linked by geography, history, and a shared commitment to a stable world. By choosing the path of agile isolation, the UK is proving that a mid-sized power can be both a sovereign island and a global hub. As we have explored in our analyses, the world is moving toward a more complex, multipolar reality. At World Perspective, we are optimistic that these friction points are simply the growing pains of a more resilient, multi-layered West. Together, we are mapping a future where the archipelago and the continent thrive, not despite their differences, but because of them. If the future of global power lies in maritime agility rather than continental unity, is Britain's isolation actually its greatest strategic advantage for the century ahead?